Mrs. Evans. Today, we're going to learn to observe what happens when you mix corn flour with water. But before we do, I'm going to show you some ingredients that we have. We have our corn flour, and you're going to need about 1/4 cup. I have about 1/2 cup of water. I have a tablespoon, and I have a mixing spoon and my mixing bowl. But all good scientists need a lab assistant, so I'm going to call on my lab assistant now. Oh, where did you come from? So, hi Stephanie.
Hi.
So Lansville, what we're going to do today is and Stephanie, what you're going to do, actually you're my lab assistant, we're going to be mixing corn flour and water. Now, before we do, we're going to make some predictions about what we think is going to happen when we mix the two together.
Well, I think it's gonna turn into this gloopy stuff that's...
Ooh, some gloopy stuff. So, I think you're right. There's going to be some sort of gloopy thing happening because I know when I mix flour, when I make a cake, it kind of goes all gloopy when I start to mix the water in and before I bake it. So maybe I'm going to use that knowledge and think it's going to be a similar reaction. What do you think at home? So you're mixing for me 1/4 cup of corn flour, and we're going to pop it into our mixing bowl in front here. In fact, I'm going to move our mixing bowl so we can see it better.
But do you know what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
I'm actually measuring it.
How are you measuring?
So, most bakers, like I am, because in year 1 I made banana bread,
Okay.
we would measure the flour and the sugar,
So you notice she's getting the measuring spoon, and she's actually leveling it off with her fingers, and that gives you an accurate measurement.
And
so this is
so cool.
1/4 cup.
1.
All right, let's pour that in. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to start to stir in some water. And we're only going to start with a little bit because you don't always need the full 1/2 cup. So make sure when you are mixing this, boys and girls, that you do it in a way that suits what you're mixing, okay? So if it's getting a bit gloopy, it's probably right where it needs to be. And you may not necessarily have to add all the water, but that's where good scientists adjust their instructions. So can you start to measure a tablespoon for me?
This is going to be really hard. But...
And pour it in. And then mix, mix, mix.
Mix one. I think we need a little bit more.
What are you noticing?
It's going into this gloopy stuff.
But is it all mixed? Is it all mixed in with the water?
No, I think we need more.
Okay. Can we show everybody at home? We're just going to show them.
It's not really.
We need to do more. All right.
Wait, if I put my fingers.
Hang on. Let's just add some more. All right. So add another tablespoon.
Another one. Oops.
Maybe add a couple.
2. I have some on.
And then mix, mix, mix.
Mixing. This is really hard.
It's getting harder to do, is it?
Yeah.
Man. So the trick with mixing corn flour and water is to try and mix slowly. Slowly and steadily, because there's a reason for that.
Like the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah. Slow and steady wins the race. Yeah. All right. Can we mix, mix, mix? Good girl. I'm going to help you here just to make sure we get it all mixed through. Oh, I've noticed something too. Have you noticed it's starting to get a bit solid?
Yeah.
Wait.
If I put my finger in there, it feels stiff.
It feels stiff. Okay. So let's have a look. And I've noticed, boys and girls, when I'm mixing my spoon, if I go slowly, it's all right. But if I go hard and fast, suddenly something happens to the mixture.
It goes gloopy.
It goes gloopy. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to pour this out into a container. In fact, I'm going to show you what we've got so far. So yours should kind of look like this. And I notice when I try and drag my spoon through, it's really hard to do, isn't it?
Let me try.
Can you try it?
It's hard when I put my finger in. And look, my finger's dry.
So boys and girls, I made some a little bit earlier. And you can see it swishes and swashes and slides around. Hang on. I'm going to show you something. Stephanie, what do you think is going to happen if I push my hand down really hard and fast on this mixture?
You're gonna slip down.
You think it's all good? And do you think it's all going to go everywhere? Because that's usually what happens, right? Let's see what happens. Oh, hang on. Oh.
It's hard.
What's happening? What on earth? Oh, hang on, but your hand went through.
Oh no, I didn't.
Hello. Let me say that. I'm going to say that up close.
It's
Because it is.
solid.
But watch this. If I go slowly,
It's liquid.
it moves. But if I go hard, oh, interesting. I wonder why the mixture was sometimes liquid and other times solid. I wonder what other mixtures behave in a similar way. Thanks for joining us on Science with Mrs. Evans. See you next time.